Welcome back, you guys, to the final edition of this year's Every Bit Counts challenge. Remember that this is a challenge started by Rivers Homestead, which I will link below, where you try to get something preserved every day in August, because every little bit that you do adds up and counts. And I'm super excited because I was looking back over the month and I was trying to kind of make a grand total thing for you guys, and I divided it up by like, what did I freeze, what did I dehydrate, what did I cam, what did I freeze dry, stuff like that. And it really did add up, and it really excited me. I'm one of those people that I try to focus on what I did do and not what I didn't get done, but my natural inclination is to remember all the things I didn't get done. So while I think a lot about, oh, I got to this but not to that, going back over those today, I was like, yes, this has been a good month. It really did add up. On those days that I got one jar of something done, it added in, and it's been awesome. Anyways, let's start with what I did to finish out the month. I've been posting videos on Saturdays because that was just easiest for me going through the week, but today is Thursday. It's the end of the month. I did canning this morning. It was my get it done first thing because I have other things I need to get done today, and I wanted to get this video done for you. So we have 5 things because we have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah, 5 things from this week before I go on to the grand totals with you guys. So on Sunday, I canned chicken broth. Saturday night for dinner, we had these drumstick things, and those were from a butcher box order, and when I make any meat that has bones in it that is good quality, like pastured, grass-fed, whatever, I use every bit that I can. And so I used the bones the next day on Sunday to make chicken broth, and I got 3 quarts out of those little drumstick legs of the chicken broth. That was Sunday. On Monday, I freeze-dried pinto beans. This is to be used as a future idea I had from watching Large Family Homestead. We had like tacos or burritos or something that night, and I just cooked extra and stuck them in the freeze dryer for this idea that I have percolating. So I have a half-gallon jar of the freeze-dried pinto beans already cooked. And then when I was putting them in the jar, there was a lot of powder left over on the trays, and so I decided to keep that. And I got this little bit of that. I was wondering if it would be like refried beans. It's only enough for like one person, but I just wanted to see. So I saved it just to see. I'll play with that in a week or so. So pinto beans, half-gallon, and a little bit of powder. And then on Tuesday, forgot to please out. I have been working on getting a lot of stuff preserved from the garden. So I took some of my onions from outside the back door that have been out there curing, and I took every ripe sweet pepper I could find and chopped them all up, and I froze them on a cookie sheet, and then I put them in here. And I do this every year because every year in the winter I like to make this skillet thing with the onions and peppers and kale and sausage and sometimes eggs, sometimes not. And peppers are crazy expensive in the winter, so I try to grow as many as I can in the summer and preserve them several ways so I don't have to buy them. But I also like the convenience of having these ready to just dump in the pan. So I have a 1-gallon bag of that. I'm gonna put them back in the freezer. I'll move those out to my deep freezer later. I just wanted to keep them in there so they don't start to thaw and then stick together. So chicken broth, pinto beans, freeze-dried frozen onions and peppers. And then yesterday I canned salsa. I got 6 pint jars of salsa from our tomatoes and jalapenos and onions and garlic, and I bought cilantro for that. So 6 jars of salsa. And then this morning, this is new to me. They're all sealed. Okay, they're still warm. This is, let's see if I can remember this. This is new to me, and it is a long name. It is balsamic cherry tomato caramelized onion conserve. It was supposed to make 6 half-pint jars. It only made me 4. It did sound good. I have been looking for other ways to preserve my cherry tomatoes. I keep them for fresh eating. I love certain ones. I have freeze-dried some earlier in the month. They're like candy. I give them away in oodles and gobs. I freeze them to use in a specific dish where I don't mind them having that post-frozen texture in the winter, but I was looking for ways to just keep more, preserve more of them. So this is something for me to try. It smelled really good, it looks good, and it sounds good to me, so we'll see. I'm not quite sure what I'll do with it yet, but 4 half pints of those. So that was this week's preserving, and I did want to mention 2 other things I did. I'm not sure you would count it as preserving, but I do. I was really wanting to use up some of my eggs. I had a bazillion eggs for my chickens, and so I did a freezer breakfast meal day and used up like probably close to 5 dozen of those eggs. And I consider that preserving because I put that in the freezer and use it for future meals. It's the same as preserving an egg, only it's already in the meal instead of me using it later. And so I have those. I did make a video of that food preservation day, and I'm gonna try to get it up for you by Saturday. Also, out in the freeze dryer right now and almost finished, I have some more herbs. I was trying to clean out the fridge. Got a few days. In a few days we're going on a trip, but I'm trying to get everything ready. And so I have a tray of cilantro out there that was left from doing salsa. I have a tray of green onions that were in my fridge and a tray of dill that I will be pulling out within an hour or 2 and putting those in jars. So just wanted to mention those as well. I also in the next few days need to pull, I need to pull some basil, trim, dehydrate for various things. Okay, so grand totals for the month. I was excited to see this. So I went back through my videos because I didn't want to like pull everything up from the basement, but I wanted to reorganize it instead of by week, but by type of preservation method. So first, all the things I put in the freezer during August. I put in 9 pounds of bacon that I vacuum sealed into 1 pound increments. I put in 4 bags of pesto. Those had about 2 cups each from the basil in the garden. I have the 1 gallon bag of onions and peppers that I just showed you. And those breakfast freezer meals where I used about close to 5 dozen eggs. For dehydrating, I have dehydrated half a pint of calendula that I put in oil to make salve with later, and also 1 pint of other herbs that I did the same thing with, and that was like yarrow, comfrey, bee balm, oregano, stuff like that. And I also did a 1 quart jar of chicken treat mix. I went over that in one of the other Every Bit Counts videos that had, it had the dehydrated rose petals and herb mix, mint, oregano, parsley, basil, all that stuff. And I have some of my sunflowers are about ready to add to it. So that was dehydrating. Guys, this made pages. I was so excited when I started to see how long the list was of stuff I had done. Freeze drying. I freeze dried half a gallon of basil. That's a lot when you think about herbs, like half of one of these. No, this is a half gallon. So a full one of these of basil. A half gallon of cilantro. A quart of parsley, a half pint of mint, a half pint of dill, a half a gallon of pinto beans, 3 quart jars, that's the size of the freeze-dried oatmeal that I mixed with different fruit combos. That was in another video. These were all obviously in another video. 1 quart plus another half pint of colored bell peppers, just all the colors chopped up and freeze-dried. A half gallon of apple slices, a pint of zucchini chips, 2 quarts of cherry tomatoes got freeze-dried, a small jar, like the 4-ounce jar of jalapeno peppers, 1 gallon and a quart of green beans that have garlic powder and make a great snack, and 1 gallon, 2 half-gallon jars, so 1 full gallon of cooked shredded chicken. All of that was in the freeze dryer. And then for canning, which is the last list, I got 3 quarts plus 2 pints of chicken bone broth, because I did these this week, and a different week I did 2 smaller jars of pints. I did 5 pints of dill pickles, 5 pints of spaghetti sauce, 5 small jars, the 4-ounce jars of the cowboy candy, which is like candied jalapenos, 1 pint of ground beef, 7 pints of diced tomatoes, 6 pints of tomatoes with green chilies, which is like homemade rotel, 3 half pints plus 6 small 4-ounce jars of peach hot sauce. Those small ones I did separately on purpose to be like Christmas gifts. 5 pints of chicken breast, 8 half-pint jars of grape jelly from our Concord grapevines, 3 quarts of the potato, they're layered green beans and potatoes with onion soup mix in it, 7 half-pint jars of sweet relish, 6 pints of salsa, 4 half-pint jars of tomato conserve, 6 half-pint jars of pepper jelly, and 6 half-pint jars of peach onion relish. Those are the grand totals. I don't even know how to, I guess I could have added it all into gallons and see what it came out as, but that was enough to just divide it up, and it was way more than I thought I would get done this month. Gonna ignore the stuff I didn't get done that I wanted to get done. Let me know in the comments what you got preserved this week and how August turned out for you for food preservation, and I will see you on the next one.